What time is it? All right. So we start. CF 17, and the topic is laws of recitation of the Shema. Okay. Contain 2 CFim, so 10 CFim meaning 10 paragraphs. Okay. Introduction. There is a biblical obligation to recite Shema twice daily, once in the evening, once in the morning. This is derived from the verse Dvarim 6:7. In the first paragraph of Shema, that it states, "And you shall teach them thoroughly to your children, and you shall speak of them while you sit in your home, and while you go on the way, and when you lie down, and when you arise." Also, it just expounded the verses, the phrases, "when you lie down and when you arise," to mean that the passage must be recited at night, at the time when people lie down, and in the morning when people arise. Okay, it's actually from Talmud Brachas 10b. Okay, go ahead.
Rabbi, question. Since Amida is one thing about re-saying Amida, why? Because it's the Raisa, because you might be saying it.
No. Amida is not the Raisa. Amida is.
No. That's not. I'm saying you might say Hashem's name against the Raisa because it might be. You might not need to say it a second time. You might not need to say the sentence and so on and so forth.
No, but it's okay. All right, go.
Yeah,
go ahead.
But the thing is, for Shema, we don't have that problem. Why? Because it's a pasuk. So my question is like this. Let's say you're not sure if you said echod or ehod. Okay, you're not sure if you said it with a hey or a hes. Now, my question is, after I say Shema, and since it's deraisa, do I have to say it again if I'm not sure?
I think we're going to learn here. Let's leave it for later on.
You said chapter 17, correct?
17, yes. Siman. Okay. So, I mean, let's go one by one. He's going to explain all of these cases, all of the mistakes, all of the doubts. The Shema consists of the scriptural passages. The first, which begins with the verse, Shema Yisrael, HaShem Elokeinu, HaShem Echad, which means, "Hear, O Israel, HaShem is our God, HaShem is the one and only." Okay, it consists of the verses in Dvarim, chapter 6, verses 4 through 9. Reciting this passage, and especially the first verse, we accept upon ourselves the sovereignty of heaven. So that's how important. So we accept that Hashem is our king, basically. Commentary, see Brachas 13a. The word Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem is our God, denotes the acceptance of sovereignty of Hashem as our God. So that's very important when we say this verse. That's what we should mean, that we accept Hashem as our supreme leader. So basically, it's very interesting. Rabbi Reuven said, some people ask, Rabbi, can you be my rabbi? So it's not my decision. It's your decision. So you have to accept upon yourself that I'm going to be a rabbi and you're going to listen to me. You understand? I cannot force you to be a rabbi, right? It's your decision. I think in some sense, that's a similar idea, right? That we say, Hashem, please be our ruler. I want to do whatever you say. Continue. The second passage, which begins with the words, V'chayu im shamoya, it's second paragraph, big paragraph, second big paragraph. And it will be that if you hearken, consists of the verse in Dvarim, chapter 11, verses 13 through 21. This passage too includes an injunction to teach them to your children when you lie down and when you arise. So basically same idea. Commentary. According to some authorities, however, the obligation to recite the second passage is of the rabbinic and not biblical origin. So as David told us before, right? So as we said, not everybody agree that it's all three biblical. So maybe it's only one biblical and other rabbinical. Okay. But we go by a stricter opinion, basically. But if you have no choice, okay, you go by you can say one paragraph because you have no choice for whatever reason. But basically,
is a Pesach allowed to go by his own opinion, even though there's a stringent opinion for Deraisa?
He can a person can always go by his opinion if it's has somebody to rely upon. Did he get your question right? So
a Pesach, like he, you know.
Yes. But even today, no, so today he cannot make up his own halachas. Basically, if somebody else said this halacha or similar to this, and he said this is a very similar situations. So to be the posek, for example, I'm learning Igras Moshe with somebody. So and it's a response of Rabbi Moshe Feinstein Zatzal, and you see how he goes to Gemara and then start to analyze it like how this question that he's asked is compared to Gemara. So many people had the problem with Rabbi Moshe. What was the problem? Because he skipped all of this poskim that came between Gemara and today. So I mean, like in a later time, he would come back and say. So first he started the analysis directly in Gemara and other things, right? And then he comes and says what Shulchan Aruch says, what this said, and what others say. But he started from the beginning. And many times he said that this is not like this. This situation is not like what they're discussing. So basically, posek cannot make his own halacha. It has to be based on our existing halacha. You understand? So, but of course, you can always go stringently. Many times, Shulchan Aruch said, if you go stringently, you're going to be blessed. But we, as we spoke before, as we discussed, so you have to need like some direction when to go stringently and when not to go stringently, right? So, and many people, they go like in some things, they want to go to the mikveh, right? They want every day to be spiritually high, and then on pizza, they say mizoinus. So it's better that he did not dip in the mikveh 1 second in his life than say on pizza mizoinus. You understand? So that's the thing. So people don't know like when to apply their things. But go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, so with halacha, you said at certain times, let's say Mishnah Berurah says it's better to go stringent, thing will be blessed on so forth.
Yes.
But for example, like I told you, I keep going back to this example. But let's say undressing under your bed, people don't do that today. You agreed? So when is it right not to do a halacha? Because people over here, they don't do this halacha. When is it okay not to do a halacha b'chal?
So since it's accepted practice today not to do it, so you're not obligated to do it. So but save this energy what you have and put in something that is more valuable, like not more valuable, that it is today people should do it. Like many people, for example, on a slice of pizza, they wash their hands. Right? Because the only difference between mizoinus and chamotz, I promise you, it's the only difference. So they would tell you, and they go with a finger like this and like that, and they will go to give you sources. Everything is correct, but bottom line, you have to go on the bottom line. What pushes them to go by that opinion? It's only one reason, only one reason. Why? They were ungrateful. They do not want to say HaShem thank you. That's it. That's all. How much it cost them? Zero, absolutely zero. And it says the biggest blessing in Parnasa, in all of the blessings, comes from what? From saying thank you to HaShem for Birchas Hamazon. If I know that, many of these people know. You understand? And still, because of the taiva, because of the desire to shortchange Hashem, they will say, no, only if you eat 2 slices and maybe this is stop. You understand? Okay. So if you have opportunity to thank Hashem that your body works, that you can breathe, you can go to the bathroom, you can do all of these things, and you also say Birchas Hamazon. What is the problem? Go ahead.
Is it also the custom for example, we have to we have to daven from a siddur. Do we have to bench from a siddur? Is that in the halacha or no?
They say it is very, very recommended because you see, many people know all these things by heart. By heart, if they start from I don't know, 5 years old. So how many times he repeated in his life? He knows all of this. I know people. This person that I learned. Moshe, I think he knows davening by heart. I mean, he's has on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. He know. I asked him, but I said, but how do you know all of these tunes where to sing? He said, after so many years, you know. He said, I know the davening. I mean, what is the problem? But still, he looks in the siddur just to make sure that his mind is not wandering. You understand? So sometimes, unfortunately, it happens to me. So I read Birchas Hamazon, and I say it automatically, and my mind is not here. I apologize before HaShem many times, and then I try to find where am I myself in a bench. You understand? So this page or another page. I mean, I say the words, but sometimes that's the issue. So, but when you follow with your finger, and you see the words, so it's absolutely it's better concentration. That's the thing.
Small question before we go, very small. So Mayim Achreinim, right? Are we allowed to say Mayim Achreinim first and then say the Tehillim and then say Birkas Hamazon, or we have to say the Tehillim?
Yes. Yeah. That's the proper way, yes. So
first say the Tehillim?
Yes. Then you do Mayim Achreinim, yeah.
Understood. Okay.
So, but you're right, you know what's up, but you're right. Some people do it, they say before, I don't know what is the cut. Why? I mean, maybe Sephardim. I don't know who did it. But I saw maybe Chabad. I'm not sure. But okay. But basically, with this Mayim Achreinim is also who should wash. So one rabbi that I like very much. I don't listen to him, but I still like him very much. So he said that this formula is very simple. So if you did Mayim Rishonim, you have to do Mayim Achreinim. So if women did Mayim Achreinim, they have to do Mayim Achreinim also. So everybody is allowed. I mean, obligated. In my house, everybody does, unless they are machmir with a mikro stand. Okay. So continue. The third passage, which begins the words Vayimru, and HaShem said, consists of the verses by Midbar 15, verses 37 to 41, which mention Exodus from Egypt. The sages instituted that this passage is recited with the Shema in order to fulfill biblical mitzvah of remembrance the Exodus of Egypt. So, which is very important. So every day we have to, several times a day, so we have to mention the Exodus of Egypt. So okay. So let's see number 4 content. Although there are many passages in the Torah that contains mention of Exodus, this particular passage was chosen since it also contains many central ideas of the Torah. See Brachas 12b, Rambam, Hilchas Krias Shema, Lecha Mishnah, etc. Okay, so that's what we said. All right, so